Welcome to 10 Words of Wisdom, the place where a picture is worth 1,000 words, so you get, 1% of the picture. 10 Words of Wisdom is going to be a game on YouTube where several contestants regularly compete in contests. Contestants will be eliminated each episode until there's just one winner. What does that winner win? Wisdom! But in all honesty though, I don't know yet. I'll have to decide soon. I know a lot of you are thinking,
this sounds a lot like Baguette!
well, Baguette is cancelled. Sorry about that, it just had to be done. I mean, the last Baguette video was over 2 years ago, so it's likely a few contestants are no longer active on YouTube anymore. Plus, I, and probably many of you, have forgotten many of the rules or even who's still in the game. So yeah, Baguette's over. You can think of 10 Words of Wisdom as Baguette's reboot. That being said, if you were a Baguette contestant and would like to participate on the show, do not fear, all Baguette gelatins are guaranteed a spot onto TWOW! More on that later. Let me explain how 10 Words of Wisdom works. We start with many contestants. This time, they're books. Every episode consists of 2 parts, A and B. At the end of each B part, I will give the contestants a prompt, such as most uplifting story, which they must answer in 10 words. This will be through YouTube PMs. In the next A part, I will display the responses anonymously to you, the viewers. You'll vote on them from best to worst. I'll get to how you vote when the time arises. But aren't you glad? You only have to read 100 words total, not sift through dozens of blocks of text and or pages upon pages of images. Anyway, in the interim between the A and B parts of an episode, I'll tally up the votes. Then, in the B part, I'll reveal who submitted which stories and rank them from best to worst based on the votes. The contestant with the worst voted response will be eliminated. No further voting, no second chances, nothing. That's it. And then I'll give the next episode's prompt and the cycle repeats. Here are a few rules about rules. What happens if you, a contestant, go over the 10-word limit? Will you get a penalty? Nope. I'll highlight your mistake in the video, but there will be no official point deduction. Now voters, this is where you come in. If you see a mistake in a submission, you should place it lower in your rankings. How much lower? As much as you think is appropriate. But preferably a lot. Similar logic applies for if you misspell, combine, or make up words, or if the prompt is like, write about ice cream without the letter E, and you use an E on accident. Also, some other guidelines. Do not reveal which submission is yours with comments or videos when the voting is taking place. That removes the anonymity. What will happen if you do? The voters will take you down. Right, voters? Right. I told you guys earlier about how the contestant with the lowest voted submission will be eliminated. But I want to reward you guys, not just punish you. So if you get the highest voted submission, you'll get a prize that will help in future gameplay. What happens if you don't submit your response in time? With Baguette, I was a bit more lenient. But now, all you have to do is type 10 words. There's no excuse. It's easier to send a response than to type out a reason why you couldn't send a response. So if you don't submit anything to me in time, you will automatically be eliminated. The spot will not be opened up for new contestants because that encourages people to quit to let their friends on. Finally, how do you sign up? Well, here comes the big twist of TWOW.
If you're watching this before December 15th, you're already an eligible contestant. I will actually be accepting an unlimited number of day 1 entries. That means you guys will be eliminated off pretty quickly. Every episode, the bottom 20% will leave the show. Once we get down to the final 10, the game will change a bit, but I'll deal with that later. For now, you've just got to make your best first impression. The first prompt? What happened to the 31st of November? Send me a YouTube PM that clearly shows your 10-word response by December 15th, 2015 at 10 p.m. UTC, and you will become an official TWOW contestant. Returning Baguette contestants, if you were still in by Baguette 6B, note that in your PM, and I'll give you a 10 percentage point advantage in round 1. Also, I'm going to use your real YouTube usernames, which is different than in Baguette. It'll just be so much simpler that way. If you joined too late and didn't make it on the show, and you really want to be on, don't worry. If the man is high enough, I might do more than 1 season. Lastly, I don't have a schedule for when following 10 words of wisdom videos will be up, but there will definitely be more regular than Baguette episodes. So tune in next time when our contestants' first responses will be revealed in TWOW 1A.